Monday, my friends. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. We're going to be breaking down week number 7 of the National Football League. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. My name is David Huppin from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson, and of course, my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Happy Monday, my friends. How is everybody doing?
I'm surprised I still have a voice. All the yelling I did on Saturday night. Ask TJ. He'll tell you.
I am currently dealing with a cold as well, so my voice has been on the fritz.
It's not about he is not sick. He's not sick.
I know, but I am sick though. I'm sure you're super excited about your New York Yankees going to the World Series.
Of course, yeah. But y'all drink some tussin. That cold will be gone in 2 days tops.
Man, I don't think so. I've had this cold. It's just gotten progressively worse over the weekend, but I had this same cold for like 2 weeks. Like I cannot shake it. So,
TJ, you know what he need, right?
I'm not going to grandma's house.
Ginger ale.
I wasn't thinking that. You might get your ass thinking that.
He needs some ginger ale, some saltine crackers, and more. That's what he needs.
More. Anyways, let's talk about week number 7 in the National Football League. Let's start with one of the most boring Thursday night football games that I can remember, where Denver beat down the New Orleans Saints on Drew Brees night, 33-10. And this game was not as close as that final score. Bo Nix, 16 of 26, 164 yards. Javonte Williams had his first ever multi-touchdown game of his NFL career, which is kind of surprising because he was real good his first couple seasons in the league. Troy Franklin, 5 for 50. Spencer Rattler was getting killed on 6 sacks for 36 yards, 25 of 35 for 172 yards. Kendry Miller was the leading rusher, and Cedric Wilson Jr. caught the lone receiving touchdown from Jake Hayner, who came in relief of Spencer Rattler, as the Saints the wheels have completely come off of this football team.
Yeah. Those first 2 games seem like a
long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Don't say Christian.
Yeah. Denver's a team that I think could make the playoffs. I know it's early. I know we're still a ways away from the playoff picture and everything, but they play good defense. They don't need Bo Nix to take the game over. He just kind of manages things, makes a throw when the opportunity presents itself. This has been a team that's relied heavily upon defense and running the ball. And as far as the Saints, like you said, David, the wheels have come off completely. This is not a good football team.
I mean, their offensive line has been atrocious. I mean, Alvin Kamara gets seven carries in this game. I mean, like, you have a rookie quarterback, protect them a little bit by running the football.
Okay. So the all this tells me is the Ben Johnson sweepstakes just added another candidate, right? Another contestant to the race. It's the New Orleans Saints. Dennis Allen, yeah, bro, it's you're cooked. It's over. It's done. You were honoring Drew Brees that night, and this is the product that you put on the field.
I mean, their only highlight of the game is when they honored Drew Brees. Like, they didn't have any other highlights. Like
I mean, like they I watched I saw it on Instagram, like an Instagram, like this guy, he bet the under for points scored, and the Saints scored that last touchdown and like fried his bet. So he was really disappointed in that. Well, that was a highlight for the Saints. You cost somebody some money, I guess. It's like, again, like I said it when we did the season preview, David, like this might be the first time in a long time that Saints fans see bad football. Like, and they're seeing it. Christian, I said for 2 decades, all they knew was good competitive football.
Yeah, even when they weren't making the playoffs with Drew Brees, they were still in the hunt for the playoffs. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even after Drew retired, I remember when they had Jameis Winston. They were 5-2. He goes down, he tears his ACL, and it seems like they haven't really been the same since then. But you look at all the teams who have had the Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks, New England and Brady.
Mm-hmm.
you look at Denver. Like Denver hasn't really done much of anything. They haven't made the playoffs since they won that Super Bowl against Carolina. You look at New Orleans in this instance. They really haven't been able to turn the page since Drew Brees retired. The only one who's really been able to stay relevant because coaching does indeed matter is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep. Also, Cody Barton for the Denver Broncos is having one hell of a season. 8 tackles in this game. You also had a sack, and you also had a forced fumble recovery. You also had a fumble pick, like a scoop and score that was negated due to a penalty. So yeah, he's probably going to be the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He had a monster game for the.
Look, I hope Sean Payton took his team out for gumbo.
Down at the bayou, baby. Moving on, let's go across the pond, and we got the Jacksonville Jaguars probably saving Doug Peterson's job by beating the New England Patriots 32-16.
Did they ever?
Yeah, for sure. He was for sure going to get left in London if it didn't work out. Drake May, pretty solid here in this game for him. 26 of 37, 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was also this team's leading rusher. Hunter Henry, 8 for 92. But KJ Osborne and Michael Hasty had the lone receiving touchdowns for the New England Patriots. On the other side, 15 of 20 for Trevor Lawrence, 193 yards and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby continues to be just a excellent, like a little bit of a breath of fresh air there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 26 of 118 and 2 touchdowns. And Brian Promise gets in the end zone again for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you watch the Fantasy Football Weekly show, I had him in my top 13 guys. He's been
fantasy.
Awesome. I'm just saying. Brian Thomas has been awesome. He's probably been the best rookie wide receiver this year.
For the Caleb Williams haters, I just want to know, like, is it still just the Jags? Because if it was just the Jags, then Drake May should have had a day, right?
I mean, Drake May didn't play bad.
Drake May should have had a day, right? Drake May should have scored more than 16
David, I know what he's saying.
Points, right?
Yeah.
Right? Drake May should have scored more than 16 points. All I heard was, hey, it's just the Jags. Calm down. Okay, then, yeah. Drake May should have had a day. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. And, yeah, Doug Peterson, his job got saved 100% because those first 2 drives wasn't looking too good. Those first 2 drives.
I think that writing's on the wall. Like, this season doesn't turn around real quick.
Like those first 2 drives for New England, they weren't looking. That first drive was like, oh my god! It's like, do y'all even want to be here? Like the tackling on that first drive by the Jags was like, really? Like, tell me you don't want to play for this man without telling me you don't want to play for this man. Like,
I mean, you get down 10-0. I mean, you luckily you scored 22 unanswered in the second quarter, and basically cruised to the victory from there.
I mean, like, yeah, and that's their saving. Like, I'm talking to another friend, and because he's like, another week of the Jags being terrible. I'm like, they're saving grace. The Pats are worse. That's it. Like, that's their saving grace. The Patriots are worse.
Christian.
Yeah, there's really not much to say about this. I mean, I agree with you both.
This game was punishment for the Revolutionary War. I'm just throwing that out there like this.
Let's swing back across the pond. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Kind of dropping the ball against the Seattle Seahawks as they get beat by 20 points in their place, 34-14. Really had an opportunity to really take a major step forward in the hierarchy of the AFC and the NFC, especially in their division. I mean, you win that game, I mean, it really puts you a couple games ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I mean, depending on how the game goes tonight, Geno Smith was excellent in this game. 18 of 28, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker was also excellent in this game. He had 2 total touchdowns in this game. And DK Metcalf had the other receiving touchdown for the Seattle Seahawks. Kirk Cousins is a real tough day at the office for Kirk Cousins. 24 of 35, 232 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interception. Bijan Robinson goes over the century mark, also has a touchdown. And Drake London, who I think this is 3 games in a row for Drake London with a touchdown. Not that it matters. They get beat by 20 points in their place.
Yeah, this was the perfect opportunity for the Falcons to take that next step, like you said, but they ran into a brick wall. It's the best I've seen Geno Smith look all season, because when he's throwing a ball, over 30, 35 times, that's usually a recipe for them to lose. And they got the ball in the hands of Kenneth Walker III, which I thought was a major key for them.
29 to 26 pass attempts to rushing attempts. Well, 28 for Geno. Jackson Smith and Jigba threw a pass, and DK Metcalf caught it because he a grown ass man. If you haven't seen that catch, go see it. DK was having a day till he hurt his knee. Now he's week to week, and that's a massive blow. Like, that's a blow for Seattle. I don't think they could really overcome.
No, they don't have anybody that does what he does. Like, there's not anybody, like, there aren't that many people on the planet that does what DK Metcalf. Like, so let's be real.
Like, so if you don't have DK Metcalf, your top two receivers become Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba, with Noah Fant at tight end. Like, now that's serviceable, but
don't disrespect Jake Bobo.
Man, please.
Like Jake Bobo, who didn't have a catch. Right. Okay. Right. I would like to have seen Kenneth Walker get more than 14 carries. I mean, don't get me wrong. He averaged 4.9 on those 14 carries. Zach Charbonnet, I would like for Seattle.
I mean, they should really have like a two-headed monster. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. I really want them to establish a serious 1-2 punch, and they really could if they put the work in to do it. Like, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet would be a very, 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 very good 1-2 punch if they did more with it.
I mean, but it boils down. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons really let a golden opportunity slip away here.
This
was Seattle's first game since. They lost to
the Giants.
49ers.
Oh,
yeah.
The Giants. They had lost 2 in a row. So this
is
a bounce back win for them on the road, on the East Coast, all those miles away from Seattle. Yeah, this is a good win for them.
Moving on from there, we're swinging into the AFC. We got the Buffalo Bills running ripsaw over the Tennessee Titans. Mason Rudolph got the start for the Titans. 25 and 40, 215 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Tony Pollard, 60 for 61. Shiga Konwu, 4 for 50. But Nick Westbrook-Akine caught the lone receiving touchdown for the Tennessee Titans as the Buffalo Bills put work in. Josh Allen, 21 and 33, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, Ray Davis, both had touchdowns. I think this is Ray Davis' first NFL touchdown, actually. And then Keon Coleman, 4 for 125, and Amari Cooper got a touchdown in his Bills debut. And Ty Johnson had his other receiving touchdown for Buffalo as they cook in this game and easily win.
Wait, what did I say? What did I say? Buffalo's coming off a horrible game against the Houston Texans. They probably felt like that one got away. Josh Allen was like 9 for 50. I'm exaggerating, not by much. And Kyrie Fairburn had to kick a walk-off field goal for them to lose that game. Yeah, if you're the Tennessee Titans, you had to know what was coming.
I mean, they did play the Jets in between there and there, but
I ain't thinking about that. I ain't thinking about that. That game was That the Jets are the Jets. I will get to the Jets.
Yeah, we'll get to the Jets.
Yeah, Amari Cooper. Welcome to Buffalo, dude. Amari Cooper's trying like, damn, this is what it's like. This is what it's like to have a QB throw me. I ain't had this since Dak. Seriously. Like, dead ass. Like, he has not had an accurate quarterback since Dak Prescott. I'm not exaggerating even a little bit.
I mean, if you're Amari Cooper, you got to be, especially what happened with the Cleveland Browns this weekend. I mean, you got to be like, thank God I'm not in that city anymore.
Segue, because ain't shit to talk. Hey, if I'm the Tennessee Titans, man, I'm sending every scout to Colorado. I'm sending every scout to Christian. Who's draft eligible at quarterback? Shador.
Cam Ward, I think.
Cam Ward out of Miami. What's his name? What's his name out of Ole Miss? I mean, Carson Beck.
I don't know. I have
Carson Beck. Hey, David, I know you don't really follow the college game. I'm gonna tell you right now, Carson Beck better get ready for H&R Block. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's right.
I'm so damn disrespectful.
Am I wrong? Is the question.
You are so. I'm gonna just deal with you after the show.
Am I wrong?
Moving on. I'm also, if I'm the Tennessee Titans, I'm just letting Will Levis just start the rest of the game. So Mason Rudolph give you nothing. I'm just gonna let Will Levis.
You score 10 with Mason Rudolph. You score 10 with Will Levis. Does it really matter? Like
it doesn't. No.
Why are you not shopping Boyd, Ridley, or DeAndre Hopkins? Like why are you not shopping Harold Landry? Why are you not?
I mean, they might be. I mean, the trade deadline's not for another 2 weeks. So, moving on to moving into the AFC, we got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Cleveland Browns 21-14, but this score was really not as close as the final score. Joe Burrow 15-25, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown got the started running back, 15 for 44, no touchdowns. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase both had receiving touchdowns for the Cincinnati Bengals. On the other side, John Watson, season over, torn Achilles, 15-17 before he got hurt, but really just not a factor in this game. He tore his Achilles. We're talking about a 1.5-year long rehab. His career is probably over. This is probably it. DTR came in, played quarterback, I guess, because he's technically the backup. He was not good at all. 2 picks, and then they put Jameis Winston out there, and he threw a touchdown. Nick Chubb, welcome back to the NFL, young man. Got his first touchdown of the season in this game, and David Njoku had a really nice touchdown from Jameis Winston in garbage time.
Look, I just want to say this. I know Deshaun Watson hasn't necessarily been the model citizen or the role model that you would want your kids to look up to. And, I know he has skeletons in his closet, but at the end of the day, he's still human. You don't clap.
Who don't?
Cheer when somebody is hurt. That's someone's livelihood. That was just completely tasteless and completely disrespectful. I think you guys will both agree with me on that. And look, I'm just going to say, I wish him a speedy recovery. I really do, because you don't want to see that happen to anybody, no matter how you may feel. You don't wish injuries or death, especially upon somebody.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. I love him to death. Old roommate from college, and he texted me Deshaun with like 4 or 5 laughing emojis after. I'm like, bro, we don't laugh at injuries. I don't give a fuck what Deshaun Watson's done in his personal life. We don't laugh at injuries. We don't do that. I like, you can feel how you want to feel. That's fine, but we don't laugh at injuries, bro. Like that's we're better than that. And for the Cleveland fans to cheer for that, that's why your franchise is the way it is. That's why you're 1-6 now. That's why y'all ain't had no goddamn success since Jim Brown retired. You are a reflection of the misery that you cause. You do it to yourself. Like, you really, you never embraced Deshaun Watson. That's fine. Never really embraced him. Now his season's over. Now you couldn't wait for Baker to get going. I bet y'all wish y'all had him right now, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Bet y'all wish y'all had Baker Mayfield right now. Kevin Stefanski is a coach of the year.
Two-time
coach of the year. He's probably going to lose his job.
Yeah.
The only thing the Cleveland Browns get no sympathy from me on is the contract that they gave Deshaun Watson, because he ain't do nothing to deserve that contract. Now you're stuck with that contract. Unless you just say, F it, we're going to eat this dead money. We're just going to start completely over.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
I think unless they find a way to opt out of it and get it off their books, I think they're going to. I don't know. I mean,
now what I'm hearing, and I hope they don't do it, because to me, I'm thinking like long term. Like, if you're, because I don't know how, and I also don't know how true it is. 2 teams I heard linked to Myles Garrett are Green Bay and Detroit.
Oh my God!
Don't do it.
Atlanta.
Like, real talk. Don't, like, you really don't need to do it. Like, don't do it.
No, TJ, I agree with you, but I also look at it from the standpoint: get what you can for him at this moment.
No, if you're Cleveland, yeah, if that's what that's the direction you're gonna go. Because right now you're basically turning him into this generation's version of Joe Thomas. Remember how like Joe Thomas was just wasting away in Cleveland,
Yeah,
all like basically his
11
whole
years in a
career.
row, Pro Bowl,
11
never went to the
like and
playoffs.
never went to the playoffs. Like this is the only difference is like Myles Garrett has been to the playoffs what once, twice, once, twice, and so on. Like and that's what like you can. There's pieces on the Cleveland organization that you can get a lot for. You can get a lot for Njoku. You can get a lot for Wyatt Teller, your right guard. You can get a lot. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot, but you can get something for Zadarius Smith. His name's back in trade.
I mean,
deals.
those corners. I mean, with Denzel Ward. I mean, you can get something. I wouldn't trade him. I mean, a shutdown corner like that, I think you can build around. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's ugly in Cleveland right now, bro. It's ugly.
Moving on from there, probably the game of the weekend, or at least one of them. The Houston Texans going into Lambeau into the what is it? The winter watch uniforms, which is I love those white uniforms. They look real sharp. Green Bay pulls out with the last second Brandon McManus field goal to win the game, 24-22. CJ Stroud, not a great day for him at the office, but it was a great day to be Joe.
Worst game. This is worst game.
Yeah, 10 of 21 for 86 yards. It was a great day to be a Joe Mixon. 25 carries for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bobby Schultz's cousin, Dalton Schultz, actually led the Texans in receiving yards with 1 catch for 28 yards. Jordan Love continues to be just kind of, really good, but erratic at times.
I think he the new Mr. Give You One. You just got to be ready for the one.
3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Josh Jacobs caught his first ever receiving touchdown in the NFL. So kudos to Josh Jacobs. Tucker Kraft, 3 games in a row with a touchdown. And Tavian Wicks caught the other receiving touchdown. It's Demario Dobbs had almost 100 yards receiving as well.
Right, okay, so the catch that set up the game-winning field goal, to me, I still don't think that was a catch. Like the DB wrestled the ball out at the end. Like I could have sworn you had to survive all of that for it to be a catch. Like that's just me though, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like it's.
I guess I'd have to
nonetheless,
look at it
you had to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
They're like, oh, he hit. They're like, oh, he hit the ground first. And I'm like, but we've seen stuff like that. It was like eerily similar to the Hail Mary that Aaron Rodgers threw against Buffalo. Like I'm like, but we've seen that called incomplete.
Well, I mean, the Hail Mary call, I think they absolutely got that right because he was on the ground. He was on the ground for a hot minute before the ball came out.
Like
and the end zone and the touchdown is just different.
Like we've seen that kind of play called incomplete before. But hey, real talk, bro, I didn't know CJ Stroud had that bad of a game until I saw the numbers. I'm like, wait, what?
And you know what I think it is? David and CJ, they miss Nico Collins. Like Nico was that guy that could take the top off the zone. He could work underneath, and Tank Dell, he's good, but he doesn't scare defensive backfields like a Nico Collins would. He's CJ Stroud's go-to guy for a reason. But I also say this too. Nico makes their offense great. Joe Mixon makes their offense more complete. They're able to run the ball a lot more consistently when he's on the field. But this is a gritty win for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love didn't necessarily have the greatest of games, but when you needed him to deliver and make a throw and get you down the field, he did it.
Moving on from there, let's talk about the matchup in the AFC. We got the Miami Dolphins going into the house that Peyton Manning built and putting up an absolute clunker against the Colts, 16-10. Tyler Huntley started the game and they got hurt. But he did throw the lone touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. Tim Boyle then came in and for some reason is still in the NFL. Is Devon A. Chan, 15-77.
Wait, Christian, what a disrespectful F for him. That was worse than what I said. Come on. Oh, now he's not paying attention. I ain't passing.
Nah, what happened?
Jonnu Smith, 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. On the other side, Anthony Richardson, pretty tough day at the office, but he won the game, so that's all that really matters.
Came in and said Tim Boyle came in. Why is he still in the NFL? But I'm disrespectful.
David wrong?
I'm not
I
wrong.
said this. I asked the same question.
He's not wrong.
The crazy thing is, they brought Tim Boyle in after Like they're like, oh, this is the guy we're going to
David,
sign.
It be your own people. It be your own people, David. It be your own people.
14.
No, real
Tyler
talk.
Goodson had a touchdown. Michael Pittman 3 for 63.
Real talk. Hey, I'm looking at this on two different sides, on two different coins. Like one, if you're the coach, why not bring Anthony Richardson back for this game? Right? Like why? Like,
So when you're going up against Tim Boyle,
right? Like, why not bring Anthony Richardson back for this game? On the other end, it's the Dolphins. Why have you not traded for a serviceable backup until Tua comes back? By the time Tua comes back, whenever he comes back, you're gonna fuck around and be out of this thing before it even gets started. You're 2-4.
You haven't looked good. Like you haven't looked remotely good. Like at any point.
And deadass, if I'm the Colts, I'm also seriously considering going quarterback in the draft. Anthony Richardson is not it. I don't know what more you need to see. I don't know how much more coaching Shane Steichen can do. This is 10 of 24 against that secondary.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like 10 of 24.
He did have 56 rushing yards.
Ooh. I know they're not quote unquote like world beaters. They're not the first group of receivers you will pick. But Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, and Adonai Mitchell, that's more than enough for you to get at least 2.25, bro. You can't get 2.25 with them. Come on now. What are we doing?
Christian.
Anthony Richardson needs to play smarter. He's running too much for my liking, and he's not protecting himself. They've maximized the game to protect quarterbacks. As far as Miami, they're a mess, and you just see how valuable Tua really is to that equation. I guess
Tyreek Hill had 2 targets.
Now that's
I'm sorry to cut you off, Kristen, but if
no, you wasn't. You did it.
No, really, real talk. I'm sorry to cut you off. Like if you're the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, you have one mission and one mission only. On every play on every passing play, your job is to find number 10. Where is number 10?
Well, when you got Tim Boyle as your quarterback, it's tough.
Wow. Right, David.
Moving on to the actual game of the weekend. The Detroit Lions coming back from beating the Minnesota Vikings 31-21. The leg of Jake Bates. Let's go, baby. TC, you know how I love Jake Bates. Kicked the game-winning field goal to put them up full good against the Minnesota Vikings. This was a super entertaining football game. Jared Goff continues to just be like the most efficient quarterback in the NFL right now. 3 incompletions in this game. He had 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 116 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown, had a receiving touchdown. So did Khalif Raymond. On the other side, Sam Darnold, 22 of 27, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Aaron Jones got a touchdown. And Justin Jefferson got the pay dirt as he got 7 for 81 and a tutty.
All right, we finna establish a couple things right now. The Jared Goff for MVP is real.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at his numbers last 3 games. So what does he have like 5 incompletions? Like it's been unreal.
The Jared Goff for MVP is real. Justin Jefferson is by far the best receiver in the game. I don't want to hear an argument for nobody else. I don't want to hear an argument for anyone else. The best receiver in the NFL conversation starts and ends with Jay Jettis. That's it. That's all. 2.
Like Tyreek Hill don't exist, but okay.
I said what
Jefferson.
I said.
I give you Justin Jefferson all day.
Thank you, David. I said what I said. I said, come on, man.
Jared Goff has thrown 10 incompletions in 3 games.
Damn.
10.
Mind you, Anthony Richardson had 14.
Yeah.
Like this man has 10 across 3 games. This is my issue with, and we say it all the time. This is the issue with prevent defenses. Like Brian Flores, you're smart, dude. Jared Goff is not he's in that echelon of quarterbacks you don't want to sit back in a zone and try to stop because he's gonna pick you apart.
And this isn't the offense.
And this
to
is
do
not
that
the
either.
offense to do that against.
I mean, they have so many weapons on this team.
And I think the bigger one, obviously, is like this is their first game without that man, without that beast on defense and Aiden Hutchinson. And this
future
is why,
defensive player of the year.
oh yeah, he gonna win at least 3 of them in his career. He gonna win.
Not 3, but he's gonna get one.
No. He gonna David. He gonna get at least 3 of those.
Okay.
He's gonna get at least 3 of those.
And they got some good news on that front too. If the Lions somehow go to the Super Bowl, Aiden Hudson's gonna return.
And I still wouldn't man. I understand that's Super Bowl. It's a lot of players get there and they never get back. But man, I'm thinking down. I would rather you. I would rather have you for the next Super Bowl than risk losing you again.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, continue.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would say don't really try to trade for a big name like a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett, because defensively you're fine. Defensively, Detroit, you are fine. Don't panic. Not yet. I understand that it looked like Aaron Jones was gonna have a. I mean, he did have a day 14 for 93. That's
nice.
But that's nice. It looked like he was going to go for more, and then you honed in, and it's just all right, let's play defense like how we know how to play defense. And I saw David Montgomery fumble for the first time, and I think ever.
Yeah, I think so.
That was his first fumble in a very long time. I can't remember the last time David Montgomery fumbled. Luckily for y'all, it didn't. You still won the game. That's that. I can't wait for the second matchup against these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a game this was. I was absolutely thrilled to preview it. I had the Lions winning the game. And they just, when they needed to deliver, they did it. It's tough to play without a beast like an Aiden Hutchinson. So you have to play collectively. And Aaron Glenn is one of the best defensive-minded guys in the National Football League.
And Sam Darnold had a day, too. He only did completions.
Yeah, both quarterbacks played well enough to win, but only one could win.
Moving on to the Meadowlands, where we had the Philadelphia Eagles rough up Christian's New York Football Giants 28-3. Jalen Hurts 10 of 14, 114 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley in his revenge game, 17 carries for 176 yards and 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts also had 2 on the ground, and J.J. Brown had a long touchdown. As I'm not even going to read the Giants stats. They just cruise. The Eagles just cruise to victory.
Yeah, this was the game Saquon
spared them. Saquon spared them. So Saquon's on the bench, right? And I don't know if it was Sirianni or who. I think it was Sirianni. He sits down next to him. He's like, "Hey, you're 13 yards away from your career high. Do you want to go get it?" He's like, "Because I'm good. If you don't want it, I'm going to pull the starters and whatnot." Saquon's like, "Nah, let the young guys eat. I'm good." Saquon very well could have went for 200 yards in this game. He didn't. He chose not to. Saquon better than me, because if that was me, hey, I'm going for 250. I'm doing it.
Yeah, tough day at the office for the New York Giants. I don't know what else we really got to talk about when it comes to this game. Moving on to the Los Angeles Rams escaping from the Las Vegas Raiders, as the Raiders had, 4 turnovers in the game, 3 of them on the arm of Gardner Minshew. As Minshew mania is definitely over. 20-15 Rams. This was a messy, sloppy game. It was really just not entertaining football. Alexander Mattison, 23 of 92. Aiden O'Connell may have broken his thumb in his throwing arm, so I think his season might be over. Brock Bowers continues to be just a fantastic. He's not the best tight end in the league by any stretch of the imagination, is he? But 10 of 93. On the other side, Stafford, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Kyron Williams had 2 on the ground. Tyler Johnson, 4 for 57, as the Rams kind of escape from the Raiders.
Yeah, Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the league. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did Sam Laporta die?
No, he didn't die.
Like, it's like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, David, Christian, you gonna get a kick out of this. David, remember on the triangle we had a whole debate about who's the best receiver of a generation. Do you remember who we said?
DeAndre Hopkins?
No, we said Julio Jones.
Oh.
Said best receiver,
and you're both wrong. And you're both wrong.
Anyway, I said.
So Antonio Brown don't exist?
We said Julio Jones.
I'm gonna deal with you after the show.
We said Julio, but anyway, the point was Izzy was making an argument for his guy, Devontae Adams. You want to know why, Chris? You want to know why? Besides the homerism, you want to know why? No. You want to know why? Because he argued that Devontae, because he had more touchdowns than Julio, Devontae was better. But yesterday, if you paid attention to what he said Brock Bowers because he has more yards, he's the best tight end in the game. There are plenty of tight ends with more touchdowns right now than Brock Bowers. Cole Kmet being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn like this, and that's why I said in the group chat, I'm like, I know a guy that said touchdowns matter, scoring touchdowns matter, and that was Izzy.
But yeah, I mean, this is a Rams game for the Rams. They kind of had to win in order to save their season. To keep them relevant, because as they start to get some of their other players back. I mean, Cooper Kupp should be back next week.
That's what I'm saying. Good.
Puka Nacua should be back soon too.
That's the good news for Cooper Kupp. Kyron Williams had a day.
Man, Kyron Williams I think that's 8 straight games with a touchdown, going back to last season.
Going back to it's up there. It's something like that.
Yeah. Moving on to the beatdown in Washington, D.C. as the Commanders rough up the Panthers 40-7. Andy Dalton, 11 of 16, 93 yards, and 2 picks. I think one of them was a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, 17 of 52 and a touchdown. He continues to have a really solid season at the running back position. Jontavion Sanders, 6 for 61. On the other side, Jaden Daniels got injured with a rib injury early. Hopefully, he's day-to-day, may miss the game against the Chicago Bears coming up. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Marcus Mariota came in and was very serviceable in this game. He did throw 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson continues to be excellent with a touchdown. And Zach Ertz and Ben Sinnott, first NFL touchdown for Ben Sinnott as well, as he got into the pater into the end zone.
Can I sum this one up real quick? Dave Canellis did his post. Yeah, he did his post game, and he said he's committed to Andy and that Dalton will continue to start QB. That tells me everything about them. That tells me everything about Bryce Young, and this is why the Panthers. Hey, bro, that 33rd pick or whatever pick is going to be for the Bears, that's going to be phenomenal. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you. That's all I want to say is thank you.
Yeah, I don't think anything else really needs to be said about this one. The Commanders look good. They're the best team in the NFC.
Moving on to the Super Bowl rematch. Kansas City Chiefs going to 6-0. They're now with a 28-18 victory. A really tough day at the office for Brock Purdy. Probably his worst game as a pro. 17 of 31, 3 picks. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns in this game, as they were just losing wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk got injured in this game, torn ACL, done for the season. Deebo Samuel played 2 snaps and then was too sick to go for the rest of the game. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes, he's not playing well, but they're just continuing to win. Their defense is fantastic. Kareem Hunt, had one of those games, 2 touchdowns for him. Patrick Mahomes had a really impressive rushing touchdown. So did Mecole Hardman. Noah Gray was the leading receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. As Patrick Mahomes threw 2 picks in this game, and he's 6 of 8 when it comes to picks to touchdowns. He's the first quarterback to have a 6-0 record since Peyton Manning did it in 2017, where he was 8 and 10 after 6 games, and they were undefeated.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, okay. Look, Kansas City, they're going to find different ways to win football games. They're doing it with defense. All those other years, they were doing it just with the offensive side of the ball, and all the defense had to do was get off the field. But the defense can get the ball back for the offense now. They're running the ball. They can ugly games up. San Francisco's a mess right now. You lose Brandon Ayuk for the year with a torn ACL. Debo was in the hospital. You've been without Christian McCaffrey. You've been without Dre Greenlaw. So the Super Bowl hangover is real.
Has the Brock Party magic wore off?
I mean, I think it's tough to judge based on all the players that they're missing right now.
But in order to establish that you're the guy, don't you have to prove that you can win without those guys?
Yeah, I mean, but this offense is built to have those guys, and when you don't have them available, I mean,
Ain't no but. No. There's no but, David. Like part of the money that goes into giving.
I mean, another thing. I mean, Brock Purdy isn't exactly getting paid like a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson. He's meant to be a complimentary piece.
That's my point. No, that's my point. Is he not projected to get the bag? He's up.
He will.
He's up next.
Yeah, he's going to get paid.
So why would I give you this bag when you if you can't prove that you can win without these guys? Like, you ain't gonna always have these guys.
That's true.
Like, be for real. Like, Pat Mahomes got the bag because Pat Mahomes has proven that, hey, I can win without Tyreek Hill. I can win with Kelsey being below average.
I mean, he continues to win. He's played kind of trash this season.
Okay, so I think that no one really talked about this. Y'all, did y'all see that little 30-40 yard scamper that Pat Mahomes went on? Pocket broke down, he just scrambled up the other. It's like the Niners defenders, they're slowing up because Pat Mahomes angled like he was going out of bounds and he just turned it up. To me, that's garbage because you know good and damn well, if you're heading for the sideline, those defenders can't touch you. They won't touch you for fear of a unnecessary any kind of penalty. I don't blame Pat Mahomes for doing that, for taking advantage of that, but to do it still is, to me, that's weak as hell. These defenders gonna slow up because they see you going out of bounds, and then you just gonna up psych. It's almost like the fake slide that Kenny Pickett did in college. Yeah, that Kenny Pickett did in college, and it's like, hey, I have to slow it because you look like you're giving yourself up, and if I touch you in any kind of the slightest way, it's a penalty on me. To me, I don't blame Pat Mahomes for taking advantage of that, but actually doing it, to me, that's weak as hell. The defense can't touch you.
Yeah, I mean.
But also, welcome back, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal story. Where he was to come back to this, and now with Brandon Ayuk gone for the year, Ricky being on the field now and drafting him makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
I also saw a joke. Well, it was like Ricky Pearsall got shot, came back, and Ricky Pearsall got shot, he came back before Christian McCaffrey. That's kind of funny, but also sad at the same time.
I mean, those calf injuries can be tough. Moving on to Sunday Night Football and the New York Jets. You add a wide receiver, you change the coach, same result. They lose 37-15 to the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, just a tough day at the office for him. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, both of them by, was it Beanie Bailey? Beanie Bishop, sorry. Yeah. Both had 2 picks in that game. Breece Hall, when they gave him touches, was fantastic in this game. 12 of 38 for a touchdown. He was also really good in the passing game, 6 for 103. Tyler Conklin caught the low receiving touchdown for the New York Jets. On the other side, Russell Wilson, most passing yards by a Pittsburgh Steeler in their debut ever. 16 of 29 for 264 and 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris goes over the century mark and a touchdown. Russell Wilson has a rushing touchdown. George Pickens had a touchdown, and Van Jefferson had the game-winning. Again, when they put him up for good with that touchdown that Van Jefferson scored, as they'll basically double up the Jets, 37-15, and cruise to a pretty convincing victory here.
Again, I said it in the group chat. Trading for Devontae Adams is like redoing your floor when your ceiling's leaking.
TJ. Swear for God and 2 white men.
Swear for God and 2 white men. Trading for Devontae Adams was like fixing your floor when your ceiling is leaking. That's the best way to sum up the Jets. Your quarterback looks 40. Your left tackle looks 40. They look like the looks on the bench on the Jets sideline. It's like Brees Hall looked defeated. He looked like, man, I thought this season was going to be different. Y'all dead ass could have kept Zach Wilson. Your dead ass could have kept Zach Wilson.
I mean, they had a better record with Zach Wilson at the quarterback position last season. At this,
Devontae Adams, his last game for the Raiders, he lost to the Steelers. His first game for the Jets, he done lost to the Steelers twice in a week, in a 7-day span. Like, man. And on the Steelers side, y'all real life couldn't tell me Justin Fields couldn't do what Russell Wilson did last night? Really? Like, really? Like, y'all using the fact that they scored 37 points as, well, Justin Fields ain't do that. Justin Fields is also 4-2. It's now established the Jets are trash.
The beginning of this game looked really bad for Russell Wilson. Like, he looked terrible. And then the second half,
horrible.
But I think in the second half, you kind of saw like him making those throws that you're kind of used to Russell Wilson making.
The deep shots and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually thought Russell Wilson looked great in this game, and I think I think the Steelers, like, this football team is just they have the energy of their head coach, and as long as Mike Tomlin's going to be leading this team, they're going to be good.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the Jets first. How is it you have the lead?
Go ahead.
You have the lead, and you still get your ass whooped on national TV.
Yeah. On national TV.
Yeah. Then number two, I ain't been able to do this in a long time. His name is Russell. That's Wilson.
And Mike Evans now has 102 career touchdowns. He just scored. Man, it's just, oh god.
Think it's CJ.
No, I can't right now.
I mean, we're the Jets. What do you do from here? Like, what do you? I know they're going to get Hassan Reddick back. He's finally going to practice today. Prepare for that next game.
What can you say? Like, what can you say if you're who's the new guy? Albrecht. Oh yeah, Albrecht, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can you say that's probably hasn't been said already? It's you're 2-5.
Yeah.
And it looks like the ceiling is crashing and caving in.
I mean, they have a worse record than the Dolphins right now. They have one win more than the Patriots. Let's just let that settle in. I'll sit down with you. Like, they have a worse record than the Dolphins, who have Tim Boyle as their quarterback.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing. You're not gonna let that go, are you?
Dude,
Here's the crazy thing. I think Brees Hall was the Jets' leading receiver.
He was
last night.
He was.
Yeah, 6 for 100. I mean, a lot of that came on a 57-yard catch, but
hey, don't matter.
Nah, Russell looked good. Yeah, it took a while for him.
I'm not taking that away from him. Yeah, he looked good. I mean,
for Russell Wilson, I mean, that had to feel fantastic. I mean, you basically get chased out of Denver after 2 subpar seasons. For you to have your start as a Pittsburgh Steeler and have this kind of performance, I mean, kudos to him, man.
Absolutely. And again, I think the bigger win for the Steelers is Najee rumbled. Like, bro, like, there was a resemblance of a run game.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row with that.
Like, you had 150 rushing yards. That's the epitome of Mike Tomlin football. Run the ball, stop the run.
And yeah, I think if you're the Jets, I think you got to go back to the drawing board. I mean,
how many times? The serious question: how many times can you go back to the drawing board?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got the Patriots next week. You got to hope you win that game, because if you don't, the season's probably going to be over.
Yeah, how many times? Like, if you can't beat them,
yeah.
If not. All right. Let's say they win. Let's say they win against the Patriots. What if they struggle? What if it's not an easy win? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look at everybody look at the Jets schedule. Look at everybody they've lost to, and look at everybody they beat. Right?
All right,
Lose to
Chris,
San Francisco. Yeah.
they next 5 games, right? Patriots, Texans, Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks. Of that 5, how many do you think they win realistically?
Okay, so
Patriots, Cardinals. They should beat the Colts too.
I don't
They should
know.
win. They should win 3 of those 5 games.
Patriots, Texans,
Should.
Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks. That's their next 5 games.
I don't know about them beating New England, David. Any given Sunday, we've seen crazier things happen. I wouldn't be surprised if New England.
I would be shocked. I would be pretty shocked.
I don't see them beating Houston. The Cardinals could give them a run. Where's that game at?
The Cardinal game, it is in the desert.
Arizona could get them.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can.
Okay, TJ, who else after that?
After Arizona, Indianapolis.
I think they could beat Indy
in MetLife Stadium in New York.
East
They also get the Seahawks in New York too.
East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Coming off their bye.
Yeah. Other than that, the Jets aren't a playoff team, so I know Devontae gonna be pissed. I saw a meme of him on the bench and it said, "I should have went to Baltimore."
You should have gone to Baltimore. But yeah, that's been our Week 7 recap. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you get to enjoy Monday Night Football. We got 2 games on tonight, so enjoy that.
You're probably only going to be able to watch one because the other
you only want to watch one. The Chargers Cardinals game is yeah.
No, I'll check that one out because I'm actually interested in what Herbert and Kyler Murray put on the field.
No, you're not.
I know, no, seriously, I am because if you're the Chargers, you picked Herbert because you're foreseeing the next 10 years of Herbert versus Mahomes in these battles for the division, and so far, it's very one-sided. So you're hoping that it amounts to what you envisioned if you're the Chargers.
But this has been our Week 7 recap. We'll be recapping both Monday Night Football games tomorrow, along with digging into week number 8. So please keep an eye on all of our content. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Hopefully my voice is feeling a lot better tomorrow. I'm not feeling
Tell you,
right
man,
now.
Ginger ale, some saltines, and Maury.
And Jerry
I got Maury on at 8:30 at night in Fort Wayne. Anyways, I'm David Huffman from the Daily Blitz Stop Vlog. Christian Simpson.
I'm not saying right now. See, Christian, this is how you know he don't know because that's the daytime package.
I've seen Maury. I'm aware of Maury. I watched a lot of Maury growing up.
That's the daytime package.
That baby ain't mine.
Anyways, on that note, gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We tell you to go watch Maury.
Yeah, go watch Maury.
We'll be back here tomorrow. You guys all have a good night. Stay safe. Peace out.